Hey, what up, everybody? Steve Breach coming to you tonight. I got home after I watched the main event. I wanted to watch a good classic wrestling show. I made a review last week about watching SummerSlam 1992. Horrible show. Went 1 year later and watched SummerSlam 1993. Honestly, this was an awesome, real fun show. I liked almost every match that was on there. There was one match that wasn't that great, but it was sort of fun, and there was another match that was just, there was two matches that were sort of pointless. But all in all, I mean, I'd highly recommend this show. I can tell you a good, long backstory. I don't want to take up a whole lot of my review talking about this, but honestly, SummerSlam 1993 was the first time that my dad ever let me order a pay-per-view. I was watching it live for the first time, instead of having to wait till the tape came into Blockbuster and watch it. And by the time that you would watch a pay-per-view on tape that it was released in Blockbuster, you'd already pretty much known the outcome to all the championship matches, because they would be involved in angles and stuff like that. And every once in a while they would have some sort of throw-on match, and you wouldn't know what happened because it really didn't build up in anything. So those would be a little bit of a surprise, but it's hard to tell. It's hard not to know who won, the championship matches. So, I asked the dad. This was August 30th. I think this is a tie-in of a whole bunch of things, whether if it was my birthday was that, it was 2 weeks earlier. It was my first day of school. I remember I started 7th grade this day, August 30th, 1993. My school was honestly right across the street from my house. And my buddy Justin, who I don't think has appeared in any of my videos because I haven't seen him in a good long while, but I think I talk about him because he was my best friend who lived right down at the end of my street, and he watched wrestling with me, and all my sports experiences basically was watching with him, and we used to have a ton of fun. He came over, we watched this, we ordered Domino's pizza, we drank Pepsi. I can remember this stuff like it was yesterday. It was awesome. It was a fun day. This was a good card. Lex Luger, who a month before this turned babyface, going up against Yokozuna, who hadn't lost, I think, ever since being in the WWF. Well, I guess he lost to Hogan at WrestleMania 9, but that didn't last long after the King of the Ring fiasco. But he got on the Lex Express, drove across the country, shaking hands, kissing babies, become this ultra big-time babyface, became the #1 contender to Yokozuna. Jim Cornette, being the manager he is, made sure that Lex Luger could have this match, but it was the only match that he could ever have. It was a big-time stipulation because when Lex Luger was in WCW, he was in a major motorcycle accident. They put a steel plate inside of his arm. This was big-time used in the narcissist gimmick, where he would pull down the brace that he had covering it, and he would knock people out, selling that he had a metal plate inside of his arm. That move was supposed to be banned from this match, and in this match, which honestly was a very good match, Gold Standard put up a video today putting it on his biggest letdowns. Maybe that's what it was. I sort of disagree with this. I think that the finish was horrible, might have killed Lex Luger's run in WWF, but as somebody that was watching this match and remembering how much I loved it as a kid, yes, Lex Luger won the match by countout, which does not make the title to a chance. But as a kid, somebody finally beat Yokozuna. I was rolling around on the ground. I was going crazy. The only thing I can relate to this that I marked out for this hard for was in the 92 NLCS when Francisco Cabrera hit the ball into left field. Barry Bonds picked up the ball and he couldn't throw out an aging Sid Bream running the bases. I mean, I was going bananas. Of course, this match sets up the Royal Rumble with Bret Hart and Lex Luger winning, going to WrestleMania 10 and setting up the mini tournament with Luger, winning the Royal Rumble, which guaranteed him another shot at Yokozuna, even though the Jim Cornette tried to get the whole thing thrown out. I believe in one of the matches, Perfect is the referee who turns heel, and in another one of the matches is Roddy Piper, but I can't remember which one is which. But that's another day, for a WrestleMania 10 review. All in all, SummerSlam 1993. As of right now, watch SummerSlam 1991 first, which is, I think, one of the best all-time pay-per-views of all time. Then pop in SummerSlam 1993 if you have time before the SummerSlam pay-per-view. I always like to go back and watch the old ones to get me hyped up for the new ones. But SummerSlam 1993, good stuff.